Greetings, programs. This is Wretch, and welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall. In the last episode, well, we were able to check the aftermath of the attack of the Cruce Bazaar and saw a lot of people that we had good relations with die. And now we are in gang territory, heading to the SK laboratories to find the kill switch for Apex, the AI that seems to be protecting the Fire Wing and killed Monica Schaefer, our friend. So we've got the crew, which is Wretch, Glory, Iger, and Dante is coming along with us for one. So, let's see what exactly is going down here. Ulrich. A huge orc in ragged combat fatigue steps forward to meet you. He walks with the swollen bravado of a man who's used to getting what he wants. One of his meaty arms jerks up, hand held upright in the universal sign for stop. The other clutches a bulky assault rifle. The orc inspects you. His body language is decidedly unfriendly. You don't look like a Magna... whatever that is. You're not one of us, and I'm guessing you ain't here from the hub either. So tell me, who are you and what's your interest in this building? Well, let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can sneak our way through these guys. Actually, I am here for the hub. With that kind of gear, bull. If you're here for the hub, then I'm a cross-dressing elf. He grins, revealing a mouth filled with jagged teeth. This building is under arbiter protection. Can't let anyone who's packing that kind of heat. We don't want the building getting shot up after all. I'm not planning on shooting anything, not unless I have to. Yeah, well, I can't exactly take that at face value. Look, it'd be better for everyone if you just turn back. We don't want to fight you, but we can't risk letting an unknown player into this. He pauses for a moment to search for the right word. Situation right now. Maybe I could help you out with your situation. Well, that puts a different spin on things. He pauses for a moment to consider. You look like you can handle yourself. We could probably use you if you'd be willing to help. There'd be even some money in it for you. But if not, well, the assault rifle in his hand shifts position slightly, and that's a different conversation. And what exactly do you want us to do? Iger's tone is neutral, her posture relaxed, but one of her hands casually comes to rest on the butt of her shotgun. Ulrich doesn't seem to notice. We're having some trouble with a local mage gang, I guess, Magnifikers? The orc turns his head and spits. They attacked us without warning, took up in our building, and kicked us out onto the street. Me and my boys, we're the rifle protectors of this block, but they screwed us. They've got the building buttoned up pretty tight. We can't get in there to make things right, but maybe you can. If you could enter the building and do some damage to those Drek-eating Magnifikers, the arbiters would be willing to pay you. 200 new yen per kill. You bring back their amulets and you get paid. How's that sound? Iger raises an eyebrow. Your call, fearless leader. You know the timetable we're working on. Well, let's use our charisma. 200 new yen per head ain't bad, but from where I'm standing, it looks like you need my help, and that tells me you can do better. Fine, 250 per head, but that's my final offer. Alright, that works for me. Good. Yeah, I think that this will work. Iger gives you a small nod. Her hand falls away to the stock of her shotgun. You need anything else, or are you ready to go crack some skulls? Well, let's find out who exactly we're working for first and foremost. I want to know who I'm working for. I'm Ulrich, leader of the Berlin chapter of the Arbiters. We're a polyc club, small but growing. We serve the people of the working class, protect them from the parasites that would exploit them. You're not a fan of the F-state, then? Anarchy is not the solution to the people's problems. Do what thou wilt is a policy that rewards only the powerful. The working class get trampled. A strong, people-centered communist movement is the only way to protect the interests of the common man. Give us a few years, and that's exactly what we're going to be. Alright, tell me about the Magnifikers. A gang of parasites. They think that their magical talents make them better than everyone else. Because of that, they feel entitled to take whatever they want. Up until recently, they've been content with pulling pranks and stealing purses. Childish dreck, but they were basically harmless. Then their new leader took over. Calls himself... Trithemius. But I remember when he was just a skinny little prick named Uri. He lets out a derisive snort. I should have kept a better eye on him, I guess. Should have stomped him flat when he started putting on airs. Would have saved everyone a heap of trouble. Tthe took over the Magnifikers, militarized them, and convinced them that they could take us, and thanks to the element of surprise, they actually managed to do it. The orc folds his arm across his burly chest. Any day now, we're going to show him exactly how bad an idea that was. I think I'll start by breaking Yuri's neck. Well, you look pretty dug in out here. How long do you intend to man the trenches? We'll be out here for as long as it takes. We're taking our building back, one way or the other. For over 3 years, we protected that place. We held it for the people to do with as they pleased, kept it safe from parasites and exploiters. Everything was cool until those Drexel Magnifikers sucker punched us. No negotiation, no warning. They just turned on us out of the blue, brought a couple dozen spirits down on our heads. I didn't even know we were under attack until the water in my bathtub snaked up and tried to drown me. Most of us got out alive, and we've been stuck out here ever since. Just give us some time, though. We'll take the building back. We'll starve them out if we have to. And when we do, those scrawny bastards are going to pay. Anything I should know about the building before I head inside? You'll probably see some burnouts floating around the ground floor. They're all there for the hub. It's like some kind of church or something. Guy named Parson runs it. Between you and me, they're all crazy. Not dangerous, just nuts. Why'd you keep them around at all, then? Because a lot of them are rich. They paid a dreckload in rent, and we redistributed that wealth to the common man. Let me guess, you define yourselves as the common man. Do you see a tie around my neck, pal? Do I look like a corporate stooge to you? We're the friends of the people, and we are the people. Don't you dare to question it. Just one more thing. I need to get into the basement. Anything that you can do that'd help me out? Basement? What could you possibly want to go down there for? I just need to get in. Can you get me in or not? Yeah, I can help you, but it'll cost. How much do you want? You got the wrong idea. I don't need Nuyen, friend. What I need is Trithemius's head on a platter. Problem is, he's holed up somewhere in the building and we don't know where. Best guess he's hiding somewhere upstairs in a room with no exterior windows. Somewhere, probably someplace close, he stashed the power coupling for the elevator. He pulled it to keep us from getting access to the guns we stashed in the basement. So you find and kill... We're just going to call him Try. Grab the coupling out of his apartment and bring me that stupid amulet he's always wearing so I'll know he's dead. He cracks a grin. Then, I give you the control trip that I pulled when we had to fall back, slot them both back into the elevator, and it'll take you straight to the basement. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Good, just remember, no amulet, no basement. Now go on through and show that little prick what it means to screw with the arbiters. Okay, well then. It looks like we have 2 entrances? Guess we'll go right and see what happens. So here was the other exit. Okay, here's Parson. This is the part of the religious order. The attendant behind the counter is an uncommonly fine-featured dwarf with a nice smile. A yellow ID tag pinned on his chest announces his name in large, blocky letters. Parson. He nods at you and raises a hand in greeting. Welcome to the hub, brother. Are you here to share in the splendor of communion? If so, I can show you to an empty terminal. What do you do here? I am the custodian of the hub. I tend to the bodies of our brothers and sisters while they share in the rapture of communion. I might be interested. Tell me more. Communion is a spiritual experience, friend, available to all for a small donation. He gestures at the banks of terminals lining the walls. The hub acts as the core of the communion. Those who jack into it are in turn linked to one another, daisy-chained together at the brainstem. Race, gender, social class, all of the artificial barriers to empathy that we've constructed as a culture. Communion strips them all away. It is a monument to the great truth that so many of us deny, that we are all the same at the core. Imagine it, friend. Dozens of individual minds all tied together into a single cohesive whole, sharing in a collective subconscious connected through the hub. Parson raises his hands in supplication. Join with us and feel your limitations fall away. We are the Borg. Okay. Not right now, thanks. Parson inclines his head. His smile does not falter. Whenever you are ready, you may return. Is there anything more that I can help you with in the meantime? Yeah, let's see if he has any information about the local gang. He nods. We do seem to have more than our fair share. Very well, I'll answer your questions. Let's just go down the line here. Should I be worried about the gang war that seems to be gearing up around us? While you remain in the hub, you have nothing to fear. We pay well for the use of this place, and neither gang would risk driving us away. And the rest of the building? He spreads his hands. If you choose to go exploring, I can't guarantee your safety. So let's see what he has to say about the gangs we're working for. What can you tell me about the Arbiters? Parson lets out a heavy sigh. A pack of snarling animals dressed up as a poly club. I'd steer clear of them if I were you. Their ideology is loosely based on neo-communist movements from the past. In truth, I think that they just copied a few pages from an old Red Army faction handbill without ever bothering to learn what they meant. For all their rhetoric, the Arbiters are just another street gang. They shout for the sake of shouting. There's no real conviction there. If you came from outside, you probably bumped into their leader, a huge orc who calls himself Ulrich. He can seem reasonable, but I'd give him a wide berth. One more note. If I were you, I'd avoid being seen with the Magnifikers. The Arbiters take shots at members of the Mage Gang whenever they see them. If you're not careful, you could find yourself caught in the crossfire. Okay, well tell me about the Magnifikers. Power-drunk fools, the lot of them. The Arbiters were bad enough, but they're even worse. The Arbiters' interests were limited to theft and violence in the name of their cause. The Magnifikers, they have powers, and they seem to relish in abusing it. Now that they've claimed the upper levels of the building, it isn't safe to travel beyond the ground floor. Several members of our congregation have been mauled to death by their pet spirits. He shakes his head sadly. Now we travel only in groups. You're safe down here, though? Yes, Try needs the hub. To threaten this congregation would be to jeopardize his primary source of income, but the upper floors enjoy no such protection. They've become dangerous places to travel. Well, any idea how I could find him? The smile fades from Parsons' face. Try is a dangerous man. Why do you ask? I have business with him. Private business. He studies your face for a moment, and then nods. Fair enough. Try is almost certainly upstairs, hidden away from the outside world. I wouldn't advise going after him, but if your mind is made up, I suppose that I can't change it. Yes, I can tell you how to find him, but I'll need something from you in return. Naturally. Tell us what you need. A pair of squatters on the second floor ripped the guts out of one of my terminals. They've taken the data jack signal converter, and the terminal will be out of commission until I get it back. A single damaged terminal may not sound like much, but trust me, the entire experience of communion has been diminished by this act of vandalism. I believe that I know the squatters responsible. Their leader's name is Janet. She's a decker of some skill. I don't know what she has planned for my parts, but I do know that this situation will not stand. I cannot allow another terminal to be damaged. And so you want us to deal with them for you? Yes, but not with violence. I want you to talk with them and convince them to bring me back my components. Do this, and I'll tell you how to get to Try. Deal? Sounds straightforward enough. Excellent. It's a deal then. Now what can you tell me about the building there, Parson? Beyond the hub, there isn't much to speak of. There's a small shop down the hall if you're hungry or in need of basic supplies. He shrugs and offers you an apologetic smile, and that's about it, I'm afraid. What about the upper levels? There are floors above us, of course, but you're unlikely to find anything of value up there. Just the domiciles of the faithful, and the Magnifikers who have taken charge of the building. I'd still steer clear of them if I were you. Well, I need to get down to the basement. Ah, that would be difficult. The stairway leading down to the building's sublevels has been blocked, and the elevator has been sabotaged. It stopped working at the same time that the Arbiters were driven from the building. As we discussed, if you recover my stolen property, I'll tell you how to find Try. Otherwise, you could try your luck with Ulrich out front, but I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, I think we're good. He inclines his head. Come back anytime. Well, well. So this must be where communion is. Yeah, this looks lovely. Definitely something that Wretch would like to sink his teeth into. Probably not. So, let's keep exploring here. So this must be the shop. The man behind the counter looks tired. His lids are heavy and his eyes are bloodshot. Welcome to Carl's General Store. What can I do for you? Let's look at the inventory. Okay, drugs and basic med kits. Let's see if he can... Oh, you're back. He rubs his bloodshot eyes. Why? This is like me when I used to work at a convenience store. Let's get some info. He rubs his eyes and does his best to shake himself awake. Yeah, alright. What do you want to know? What's the layout of this place? He pauses for a moment, gathering his thoughts. When the words come, they're as slow as molasses. Well, you're on the first floor. That's the hub, and my shop. The second floor has mostly been converted into makeshift apartments for people to live in. A gang squats up there. The Magnifikers, dangerous people. I'd stay away from them. The third floor is mostly housing, too. Lots of Parsons Communion crazies live up there. The Magnifikers have a squad up there, too. He leans in forward and lowers his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. I'm pretty sure their main crib is up there, too. Don't know exactly where. Let's ask about the Magnifikers. They don't care about much aside from their own magic. Whole world's one big magical pissing contest to them. Always trying to summon bigger and better spirits. Dangerous stuff, man. Sounds like a bad situation. You have my sympathies. It ain't easy. They charge less in protection than the Arbiters did, but they don't care about keeping anything even approaching order. They just hide out in their clubhouse, get high, and summon spirits that terrorize and kill people up on the third floor. He shakes his head. Poor bastards. And what about the Arbiters? Bunch of tough guys. Took a big cut of my sales and protection money, all in the name of the working class. Funny, last time I checked, I was one of the working class. In fact, I'm the only one who's working in this whole damned building. He spreads his arms, a helpless look on his face. But at least they kept some form of law. Mugging and assaults were rare, and they didn't let murderous spirits run loose on the upper floors. So you know, you take the good with the bad. Okay, that's all I need to know from him. Thank you, Carl. And I guess we'll... Okay, here's the elevator, which is obviously broke. The elevator appears to be offline. The control panel's LCD screen is unlit, and its metal casing is badly dented. Let's examine the control panel with our decking. You easily pry the metal casing away from the wall, exposing a mess of wires and circuitry. After a quick inspection, it becomes clear that this elevator is wired to operate around a control chip. The chip is missing, and it looks as though a power coupling has been yanked alongside it. Without these components, there's no way for this elevator to function. Alrighty. Is there anything else to look at? Okay, this must have been the stairway to the basement. Looks like both walls gave way and they took the roof with them. The entire hallway is blocked with debris. So, let's head up the stairs. Considering the state of the rest of the building, the stairwell looks relatively clean and intact. Let's go to the second floor. And we are obviously going to be meeting nastiness when we... Oh, A for anarchy. Open door. Behind door number 1... Oh good, target practice. And something just darted everywhere. So... What are you? Oh, a Magnifiker. Cool. So we are right off into the... Getting right to it. First things first. And healer, conjurer, mage. First rule of all games, we kill the healer first. At least attempt to. And we buff up Glory. Get her claws out, because that's what we have her spec'd as. I guess we will go for this mage. Nice. Iger. And you have 3? Okay. You get back behind here and target 2 enemies and then open fire on both. We can do that. Oh. And we got 1. We need to take care of that healer. And it looks like Dante takes advantage of ley lines. So let's have Dante head here. And... Oh, we don't have the AoE. That's unfortunate. Let's try... Nice. Bye-bye, healer. Conjurer's up next because we summoned something nasty. Ow! Well, you killed your mate. That's good though, so we can focus fire. And one more ought to do it. Cool. Now, I saw that they dropped stuff. Let's... Oh, we got to get their talismans for our payoff. Yay, that's one. Let's get 2. And 3. Groovy. Now, oh, we have another one. Did not notice that. Let's head back here and use a headshot. Ooh, for a good 40. Now, Dante. Get some orc flesh there, buddy. Oh, you are so screwed. Cool. So they've healed up some stuff. Let's grab this other amulet. Spellbook. This requires the most basic spell every mage knows and always has ready, which... Let's send it to the stash. We can probably get some money out of it. And another one? Mage. Yeah. I won't argue, though. Probably get some nice coin. No computers we can hack into, unfortunately. Door console. The door is locked. There's an intercom panel beside it. Well, before we hack, let's try the intercom button. The panel buzzes, then a nasal voice pours through the speaker. Password? I don't know. No password, no entrance. Now scram. Alrighty, so... let's use some decking. You pop the panel off the door control and quickly override the lock. The door unlocks with a click. Hello! Oh, that's Janet. Hello, Janet. A middle-aged woman with chocolate-colored skin and shoulder-length dreadlocks looks up from her PDA with a start. She's decked out in form-fit body armor, and in a flash, her assault rifle goes from slung to held at the ready. Who the hell are you, and how'd you get through the door? I knocked nice. You just gotta know how. She gestures with her rifle. Cut the crap and start talking. What do you want, and why are you here? Parson sent me. He wants his hardware back. She shakes her head violently. No way. Those parts are keeping us online, and not just us, but everyone worth a new yen in this hole. Parson keep running his ridiculous little cult just fine with what he's got, but us, we're the only matrix connection that these people have. Well, maybe I can use my decking skills. Look, those parts can't be irreplaceable. Let me take a look at your terminal. Maybe we can figure something out. Alright, the terminal's in the back room. Go take a look, but if you try to rip us off, you're going to regret it. So, I'm wondering what that beeping is. Oh, well, there's a lot of folk in here. Hacker terminal. This is right up Wretch's alley. The hacker's terminal has clearly been cobbled together using whatever parts they could find. In spite of this, it is a remarkably impressive piece of machinery. Studying the terminal, it takes almost no time to identify the components that Parsons sent you to find. We can take the signal converter right out, but then we'll probably be in a fight. Let's see if we can examine the terminal and see if the signal converter can be removed without disabling it. At the moment, it's impossible to remove the part without disabling the terminal. The converter is required so that the signal the terminal sends can be interpreted by the data jack of its user. Yeah, perhaps a more common part could be modified. The converter is a pretty specialized piece of hardware, but a data jack impulse transmitter is a widely available piece of equipment and could be converted to work in its place. So a data jack impulse transmitter, huh? So let's... So let's chat with Janet again and see if maybe she has one of these things. Janet eyes you warily. So, what did you find? Looks like the part that you borrowed from Parson is acting as your data jack signal converter. I think I can cobble you a replacement, but I'll need a signal regulator to modify, and you don't seem to have any spares on hand. Her eyes widen. You could do that? Jury rig one for us? That'd be amazing. Don't get too excited. We still need the part. I bet you could get one from Carl down on the ground floor. No one else around here would have anything like that. She checks herself. Well, except for Parson, of course. He's got more replacement parts than he knows what to do with. Alright, I'll see what I can find. Cool, so maybe we can get through this with a minimum of bloodshed. In the meantime, let's finish searching the rest of this place. Knock, knock. Oh, we are in the low parts. 11 new yen. The communion speaks and we listen. Give yourself willingly. Join us and be rewarded. Bliss. Let's send that to the stash for some good coin. Hopefully get with some good karma out of this. The communion must flourish. The communion must grow. I guess all the members are busy doping up. Or not doping up, but jacked in. On the dresser is a scrap of paper with Shark Tank scribbled on it. I bet that was probably the code. We are one through the communion. Join us, and we will all be one together. It sounds like the Universal Brotherhood from the first game. So, what's in through here? Lots of multiple doors. It looks like a little bit of a maze. Franz. Hi, Franz. A group of metahumans huddles together, their eyes wide with terror. Many of them have scrapes and bruises, and a few have more serious injuries. Their clothes are tattered and stained. At your approach, a disheveled-looking middle-aged man steps forward, placing himself between you and the main group. His gray hair is badly matted, and a pair of battered reading glasses hang from the bridge of his nose. Who are you, may I ask, and what are you doing here? Wretch. And you are? My name is Franz. These are my friends, and my wife. We live together. Well, we used to live together, up on the 3rd floor. You used to live upstairs? Yes, until about a week ago. Then the Magnifiker's pets moved in, and we had to run for our lives. Spirits, you mean? He nods, a look of pure misery on his face. They're always summoning the damn things, but last week they lost control of a handful. Before we knew what was happening, they were running wild in our living room. We tried to protect ourselves, but we were no match for them. He shakes his head, a haunted look in his eyes. We had no choice but to leave everything behind. We've been scraping by down here ever since. Franz takes a moment to collect himself. When he speaks again, he sounds more composed. At least Janet is letting us use her Matrix uplink. We can still afford to feed ourselves thanks to her. Well, if there are uncontrolled spirits loose up there, someone needs to deal with them. Might as well be us. Franz's face lights up in excitement. Oh, thank you, thank you. Please let us know when it's safe to return home. Okay, clear the spirits out of the 3rd floor apartments. Good deal. So we got quite a little bit of side questing to do here. And we'll take care of that in the next episode, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you liked the video, go ahead and click like down below. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. That'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.